We interrupt this program for the zombie apocalypse.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 scariest things caught on live TV news.
I'm okay, yeah, that's live TV for you. It's all good. I actually got hit by a car in college too, just like that.
For this list, we'll be looking at news moments that freaked out presenters and viewers, whether because of dangerous situations, frightening interactions, or spooky, hard-to-explain occurrences. Would these moments have made you jump? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, alligator freakout.
So this is an American alligator, and yes, I have taped his face for your safety.
I appreciate that.
Sometimes you have to wonder how journalists get talked into holding animals on live TV.
Is that Scotch tape? You give me an alligator Scotch tape?
I got it off your desk.
No, that's not gonna hold this alligator?
Right, yes.
No, wrong.
No, they have no opening pressure. All their pressure's coming down.
That's Scotch tape.
Right, I'll take it off here.
No, you ain't gonna take it off.
Boston sport anchor Steve Burton was handling an alligator, and you can tell he's a little nervous. Then he makes the unfortunate mistake of getting it too close to the other reptile in the room. The four-legged guests clearly had some kind of argument before the newscast because the proximity got them all riled up.
Let's stay over here by Joni.
Do they know each other?
No, hold him tight. Hold him tight. Hold him tight.
I am.
Hold him tight.
I am.
You got him.
I am.
As the alligator tried to squirm out of Burton's grasp, everyone around must have been picturing those sharp teeth taking a bite. Luckily, the handlers quickly got the situation under control. Burton still looked a little out of sorts, but the handlers clearly thought it was pretty funny. Number 19, bugged. This incident was scarier for the reporter in question than the viewing audience. However, most of us can understand the primal fear inspired by something big flying at your face.
Oh, what is up? That's because it's hot outside. Stuff like that happens. Was that live? Are we live? Oh, brother.
Fox TV reporter Brad Wills was ready to report from the beach when a giant bug came straight for his head. He screamed in terror and smacked it away. After a quick recovery, Wills finally thought to ask his cameraman if the feed was live. It definitely was, and everyone got to enjoy the blooper at home. Number 18, far-right rage. Disagreements between political parties are to be expected. However, this debate came to blows. When Greek politician Renadourou from the coalition of the radical left said that Ilias Kassidiaris' neo-Nazi party would take the country back centuries, he decided to prove her point. He threw water in Dourou's face, and when Communist Party member Liana Canelli hit him with a newspaper, he slapped her 3 times in the face. Kassidiaris was restrained in a room backstage, but broke through the door and left before police arrived.
You don't have to speak Greek to understand that. We should have told you how disturbing that video actually is.
He's currently in prison for directing a criminal organization implicated in violence against anti-fascists, activists, and immigrants. Number 17, mugged on air. Although journalists know better than anyone that crime can happen at any time, this incident was disturbing for both reporter and audience alike. CNN's Bruna Macedo was on the scene in Sao Paulo, Brazil, to report on rising river levels. Early in the report, a man can be seen watching her from a bridge in the background. Later in the broadcast, Macedo was approached by the menacing figure. While the studio co-host continues to talk, the assailant confronts the surprised reporter. Although not clearly visible on camera, the mugger threatened her with a knife until she handed him 2 cell phones. The thief then fled. Thankfully, nobody was injured. Number 16, a close call. Haunted dolls are really only scary if you believe in ghosts. However, there's no denying the terror a moving vehicle can inspire. In 2016, the viewers of KTVU News feared for the life of reporter Alex Savage. He was facing the camera with his back to the street. Viewers watched in fear as a bumped car veered directly towards the reporter.
It's a chaotic and confusing situation.
Luckily, the photographer on the scene warned Savage just in time. They both jumped out of the way as the car smashed into the camera. While staring at a lone hubcap on the street, viewers must have been relieved to finally hear someone call out that everyone was okay.
Yep, everybody's all right. Alex just got out of the way. Woo. Yeah, we're okay. Everybody's okay.
Number 15, lightning strike. We've all heard that it's dangerous to be at the highest point in the area when lightning strikes. So standing on a roof to do a storm weather report seems like a bad idea. Regardless, that's where Dave Malkoff was for this broadcast. In the middle of his sentence, a large blue flash could be seen overhead. The deafening thunderclap that accompanied it was almost instantaneous, and the fear in the reporter's face was clear as day.
And look at that was right on top of me. Maybe we want to get inside. We'll talk to you guys in just a bit.
Later, he explained that he could see a column of lightning dissipating, and that the strike was directly above him. Realizing this, he made the wise decision to get off the roof and into a safer location.
When thunder roars, get indoors. You do not want to be directly underneath a thunderstorm with lightning on top of you. That's one of the most dangerous places you can possibly be.
Number 14, a shaken news station. News teams are used to calmly covering natural disasters as they happen.
We're coming on the air to update you on a major earthquake that has rocked central Mexico.
It becomes more difficult when the catastrophe is wreaking havoc around you, though. In 2017, a Mexican news station was in the middle of a live broadcast when a 7.1 earthquake struck. The whole set started to shake.
Ustedes ya saben qué es lo que tienen que hacer en este momento. Conservar la calma y evacuar de inmediato. Me voy a levantar y voy a evacuar.
The host calmly told the viewers to follow safety protocols as the station began to fall apart around him. Blurred shots from live cameras outside revealed the intensity of the quake. Meanwhile, inside the studio, overhead lighting began swinging wildly. It was a terrifying incident for both the news team and the viewers at home. Number 13, out of control guests.
This is the moment two journalists taking part in a TV debate in Jordan became so angry with each other they wrecked the studio.
All you have to do is watch the panicked face of presenter Zuhair al-Adha to see that something is about to go wrong. During a live debate about the Syrian civil war on the Jordanian show Between Opposing Opinions, emotions got the better of journalists Shakir al-Johari and Mohammed al-Jayousi. Al-Jayousi accused al-Johari of supporting the revolution, while al-Johari accused al-Jayousi of supporting the government. As they lunged at each other, they shoved the desk back and forth until it completely came apart. Al-Adha was powerless to stop them, and the production team had to jump in to separate them. Number 12, World Series earthquake. On October 17, 1989, during the live broadcast of the World Series, people watching at home suddenly saw their TV sets flicker. There were panicked voices, and suddenly the broadcast cut.
Second base, so the Oakland A's take. I'll tell you what, we're having an earthquake.
As audio returned, viewers could hear people shouting in the stands. The event was of course even scarier for people who were there in the ballpark.
I don't know if we're on the air.
At that moment, the Loma Prieta earthquake had struck California's central coast, causing damage in both Oakland and San Francisco. While those in the ballpark were okay, the quake left 63 people dead and 3,757 people injured in the area. Number 11, freaky doll. Is there anything scarier than a creepy doll?
Hey, Chucky, you're not watching me. Hey, wanna play?
In 2017, the viewers of a British morning show had a real-life experience with one. The guests claimed a doll was haunting their family and even scratched the husband while they slept. During the segment, the object in question was sitting on a rocking chair on the set. As the show hosts were discussing the incidents with the owners, the chair began to slowly rock.
Gaynor Green says, my nan has a collection of dolls in her dining room. They're so creepy. They look as if they're just waiting to pounce.
There were many tweets from audience members and people freaking out about the seemingly paranormal occurrence. The hosts didn't seem convinced that the haunted doll was actually spooky, but there's definitely something creepy happening in this footage.
You don't believe this?
Well, I don't believe in things being haunted.
Number 10, bouncing back. Reporter Tori Yorgi probably wasn't expecting an exciting evening when she went to report on a water main break in West Virginia. Then she got hit by a car on live TV.
Just got hit by a car, but I'm okay, Tim.
That's the first for you on TV, Tori.
Woo! We're all good.
Viewers could clearly see the vehicle coming up behind her as she reported on the flooding. As Yorgi falls out of sight, there's one brief horrifying moment when no one is sure if she's seriously hurt. However, the cheerful reporter quickly bounces back into the scene.
My whole life just flashed before my eyes. But this is live TV and everything's okay.
After announcing that she just got hit by a car, she blows it all off with a laugh.
You stand there waiting for your shot to go on air for a few minutes at least. And of course, right as I'm about to talk, it happens. And it just was amazing that it got so in the frame.
Number 9, a bolt of adrenaline. During a monsoon in Phoenix, weatherman Matt Rodewald had a shockingly close call. The entire area where he was reporting was flooded. Cars were getting stuck in the roadways. The journalist was getting ready to report on the dangerous situation when a bolt of lightning struck behind him. It lights up the entire sky, and the bolt is startlingly clear. After initially moving to assess the situation, Rodewald quickly jumps back in front of the camera with a nervous laugh. Although the lightning missed the quick-footed journalist, it did take out power in the area.
And probably about 2 minutes before we hit the air, a very strong lightning strike, probably about half a mile from where we are, knocked out the lights on the street. Very nerve-wracking for sure.
Number 8, strange skylights. When anchors at a Milwaukee news station cut to an outdoor camera in the early hours of February 27, 2018, they got a much stranger scenic view than they were expecting.
Are those fireworks? What is that?
Look like some fireworks or something.
Aliens?
Multiple streaks of white light could be seen moving quickly across the dark morning sky. The anchors' first thoughts were that it could be fireworks or maybe aliens. At first, their tone is light, but you can hear a growing concern as the phenomenon continues with little obvious explanation.
You see it, right?
I'm actually, yes,
Okay.
I do see it.
Okay.
It's getting weirder by the second.
I know.
It's like they're sticking around.
We're gonna do some digging and figure out what that is. Back in a moment.
Later, the news station reported that it was a flock of seagulls reflecting early light in a long exposure camera shot. Although this seems like a logical explanation, many viewers were still skeptical. Number 7, zombie apocalypse. We're stretching our criteria for this one, as it came during a tabloid talk show, The Steve Wilkos Show. In 2013, viewers of local Montana station KRTV heard an unbelievable and terrifying announcement. The show was interrupted by an emergency broadcast warning of the zombie apocalypse.
Civil authorities in your area have reported that the bodies of the dead are rising from their graves and attacking the living.
They were told in a calm, authoritative voice that dead bodies were rising from graves and attacking the living. The serious nature of the report had viewers worried. Many called into local police stations. It was later discovered that the news station's emergency alert system was hacked, and the whole incident was a hoax.
The station, as you can imagine, is saying it's trying to find out how this happened.
Most residents probably knew that it wasn't real, but we're guessing that they chose to stay inside for a while just to be safe. Number 6, helicopter havoc. In 2004, footage of an out-of-control helicopter stunned viewers.
We're following breaking news in Brooklyn, and you're about to see dramatic pictures of a helicopter crash.
The scene was like something out of a movie, not a real-life event. While covering an incident in Brooklyn, the aircraft started to spin and spew smoke. It clipped the edge of a building, taking chunks off the structure.
The chopper belonging to TV station WNBC losing control, as you can see, hitting a building and crashing on a rooftop.
The tail of the vehicle broke off and the cabin crashed into the roof of an apartment complex. Whether watching on TV or from the streets below, viewers were shocked that the pilots and reporter on board suffered only minor injuries. Number 5, frightening in-flight video. Not long after JetBlue Flight 292 made it into the air, the pilots realized that they had a serious problem. The plane's landing gear was off kilter and wouldn't retract. Ultimately, they decided to land at LAX, but first had to burn as much fuel as possible to make the emergency landing safer.
Unclear as to what they might be able to do to right that nose gear. In the meantime, firefighters at the Long Beach airport, they are standing by and prepared for every possible emergency.
Viewers at home watched the drama unfold on live TV. Thanks to in-flight access to DirecTV, the passengers did as well. Luckily, the video on the plane was turned off before the nail-biting landing. Although there was smoke, sparks, and flame, the malfunctioning aircraft landed safely. All viewers, in and out of the plane, breathed a huge sigh of relief.
But you can see no indications of any fire on board this aircraft. It appears that this has all come to a very safe conclusion.
Number 4. Alien message. Are we alone in the universe? Maybe we already have an answer.
These include stopping the execution of all captured prisoners of war, allowing Gibraltar to stay on negotiations, being arrested.
On November 26, 1977, an independent television news program was suddenly interrupted in parts of southern England. A distorted voice identifying itself as Ashtar Galactic Command ordered humans to get rid of their weapons to attain a higher state of evolution.
This is the voice of Allah, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights in the skies.
The interruption lasted 6 minutes, prompting hundreds of calls from worried viewers. The perpetrator was never identified. Our species didn't abandon its weapons, so maybe the enlightened extraterrestrials threw up their hands and wandered off to contact other worlds.
We understand that viewers in some parts of the region are receiving a breakthrough in sound. We're sorry about this, and we're doing our best to rectify the fault.
Number 3. Thirsty Ghost. This freaks us out just to watch. In December 2015, the Honduran morning show, Primera Edición, or First Edition, experienced an unexpected visitation. As Carlos Molina sat at his desk, his glass of water suddenly moved of its own volition. He asked colleague Pablo Zapata if he had seen the same thing. Molina later claimed that it was not a prank, and that he had experienced a chill right before the glass moved. It could have been due to condensation on the glass, but you wouldn't catch us still sitting at that desk trying to figure it out. Number 2. A ghostly fan. There's something instantly frightening about seeing a shadow where it doesn't belong. No wonder soccer fans in Bolivia freaked out when they saw this news footage. The TV station was doing live coverage of a match at Hernando Siles Stadium in La Paz, Bolivia. But the game wasn't the biggest thing that caught people's attention. A shadow could be seen sprinting through the stands.
Pero recurrimos al archivo que tenemos del partido precisamente.
It moved through people and barriers, so it didn't appear to be human. No one has been able to fully explain this incident. Therefore, it left many believing they'd seen a live broadcast of a ghost.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Wait, you've got 2 shadows. It's how they hunt.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. We interrupt this newscast for a tornado. In 2011, viewers of WREX News were keeping a close eye on the weather map displayed on their screens. A meteorologist was explaining the path of an oncoming tornado.
I would say this is right near Westfield and...
For many, this report was their tie to outside events. So imagine the trepidation they probably felt when the voice on screen suddenly cut out. One long breath later, a voice came back on air.
All right, we're back on the air. I just evacuated our entire studio.
At this point, the tornado was getting very close to the station, and things were getting unsafe. Everyone took shelter in the basement, and coverage continued. Although it was a frightening experience, the news team and viewers were in it together.
If you are near the WREX station around Winnebago, Pecatonica, the west side of Rockford, it's time to take your tornado precautions at this moment. Please head down into your basement. If you do not have a basement, the most interior part of your home.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.